Spool caps like these ones just here come in different sizes. Don't worry about what these particularly look like because they do vary in their style depending on the machine. What's most important is they come in different sizes, and you will probably find you have different sizes with your machine. But did you know there is a reason for these different sizes? And that's what I'm going to cover in this quick video. So who am I? I am Kim. This is Quilt with Kim. You, my lovely, are very, very welcome. Let's switch camera and have a look at these spool caps in greater detail. Generally with our machines we get three sizes of our spool cap. We get a small one, a medium one and a large one, just like the three bears and their bowls of porridge. I digress. How they work, in case you weren't aware, is that you get your spool holder that's on your machine. We get our spool of thread that goes on there, and then the spool holder spool cap just slips on the end there to stop the spool of thread flying off when it's stitching. But which size do we use? That is the question. And there's a very good reason why we need to know that, because these are designed to stop one thing happening. And it's actually to stop your thread fraying against the end of your thread spools there. So when we are stitching, if I can find the thing, your thread will be coming off your spool and it will be running against the edge of the spool at the top here. The end of the plastic on a lot of spool can be quite sharp, so this is why we have the spool caps. A, to stop our spools flying off. Secondly, you'll find that each spool cap is slightly bigger than a certain spool of thread, and that is so that the smooth edges on here stop your thread from fraying, and I can't say that. So when your thread is running off, what it's actually doing, if I can show you side on, is going slightly over the spool cap. Can you see just there? So it's coming off the spool and going over the smooth spool cap rather than catching on anything that might be on the end of your spool, which will fray your thread. However, what we don't want to do is stick any old spool cap on, which can be a tendency, because if we stick, say, the big one on there, then that's too far for our thread to go, and actually that can cause problems as well. That can cause the same amount of problems. So what we want is the spool cap that is just slightly bigger than your spool of thread. This is a standard size spool of thread, and you can see this takes the smallest cap just there. Let's take that off. And then if you've got a quilting thread, for example, spool there, that'll take just that little slightly bigger one, that medium size one, and you can see that's just slightly bigger from that one. And I've got, in fact, that's the same type of one, that's a 500 meter spool of thread, and that'll take that medium size spool cap as well. I actually haven't got any spool sizes that are big enough to fit under there, but that would be for a big spool of thread. All you need to do is choose the correct spool cap for the size of thread spool that you've got, and that's all there is to it. However, there's a little tip. If you're staying this far, thank you, because I do throw things in at the end of my videos. I used to work, in fact, I didn't used to work for Brother at all. That is a complete lie. I used to be a dealer for Brother when I had my physical shop. And these little spool caps are really cheap to get hold of. So if you go and speak to your local dealer, you should be able to get a little pack of spare spool caps really cheaply. I mean, they cost pennies. Don't be succumbed into buying lots of pounds for them, because they really don't cost that much at all. I'll probably get shot down for telling you this, but I like to give you actual information that's proper information, that's honest, and I have integrity. So I'm sorry, but I'm going to share that with you. These little bits of plastic don't cost much to produce, and they don't cost very much to get in for a retailer to buy in, they really shouldn't cost you very much to buy at all. Appreciate the retailer does need to make a little bit of a markup, but don't pay lots and lots and lots of pounds. It's just a little bit of money. And if you find a nice retailer like I used to be, that I used to have spares of these, and if you'd lost one, I'd just give you one. But I don't have my shop anymore, so I can't help you out. Anyway, so that is it. It's worth getting the right size spool caps to have with your machine. So if you're missing any, do go and get the missing ones. I have to say I very rarely use the big one. It's normally these two that I use. If you've got those with your machine, you're pretty much good to go, and I would have a couple of each if you've got spares, because they do go missing, and they're a bit like tiddlywinks, and they flip off. I really need to just probably stop for the day. It's too hot on the day I'm recording this. Anyway, I hope that has helped. If it has, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I will love you and leave you for now, and I will look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.